you,
This
but you're
conference
breaking
will
up.
now be recorded.
I can hear you, but it's really faint, like you're breaking up. Okay, so I wanted to start by talking a little bit about Facebook today and just making sure that you all are good to go there. And so we're just going to go through and kind of talk about some of the different features that your Facebook business page should have. Now, when you create a business page, it'll be in a couple different places where you can find it. It'll be over here on the left under your shortcuts, okay? Or you can click on pages and it'll come up. So just, excuse me, just to make a post, you can click on your business page. That'll bring you here, okay? So all of your feed is down here of everything you've posted in the past. If I want to create a new post, I'm just going to go right here. It's going to give me some different options as far as adding photos, adding a cause to support. You can check in somewhere. So like every time you make a real estate related post, it would be helpful to tag or check in at Weigert at the office. You can also create like an event right from here. Now, I wanted to talk about running ads. This is a good time of year to do that because I think several other agents are starting to kind of wind down their business and sort of take their break, you know? And so I don't think that Facebook is as congested with other agents' ads. So I think it's a good time to run promotions. So there's several different ways you can run promotions. Probably the easiest way is to go right here to this blue button and click promote. You can do automated ads. This is a little bit more advanced. You can click create new ad. When you do this, this is the most generic version of an ad you can do. So what it's going to do is it grabs your description, your about me, from your Facebook. It grabs your website and your cover photo, and it uses all that to create the ad. So you don't have to actually do any customization unless you just want to. So if you want to change the verbiage here and say something about, you know, the real estate market or whatever, you can delete this and put your own words in here. You can put your own website in here, whatever you want to do. And if you want to change the photos, you can, but typically your cover photo is going to be something that's pretty generic and fine for an ad. You can change the button. And then what you'll always have to do, at least in my experience, no matter what you're posting, if it's coming from your real estate business page, you have to toggle this on or it will not get approved. It'll bounce back and say, this violates our ad requirements or whatever. So under the ad category, you'll just come in here and you'll choose housing every time. Okay, so even if you're doing an advertisement like offering a free home valuation or a first-time home buyer seminar or something, it's still going to consider that related to housing enough that it's going to make you do this ad category. What happens when you toggle this on is that instead of you getting to choose your audience, it's going to choose it for you to make sure that you're not discriminating against any class of people. Further down is how you can adjust your spending. It's going to say that it's recommended that you run an ad for at least 4 days. Okay, so anytime you're running an ad, make sure that, like, if it's for an open house, give yourself enough time so that it's up by Sunday and you're not going past that date, right? And if you really don't want to spend that much money, but you still need to stretch your days out, you can just toggle this down. Okay, so I'm just spending $12. Typically this number, the estimated daily results, that's actually a little bit low. Just from experience, typically I get numbers higher than their estimated results, which is kind of nice. They set the bar a little bit low. Okay, and then you'll put your payment in here down at the bottom. Like I say, every time we do this class, Facebook is one of the probably most secure websites you can use. So don't worry about your payment getting stolen or your information getting stolen or whatever. If you want to see what it'll look like across different devices, maybe. Okay, so here's what it will look like on somebody's desktop. Here's what it'll look like on their phone. Okay, so all the different places it'll go and all the different ways it'll look and all of those different places on Facebook. Also, if your realtor page is connected to your Instagram, which it should be, it'll automatically run the ad on Instagram as well, and it'll look like that. Okay. So again, I started with create new ad. Now another way to run an ad, and the whole point of running an ad is that when you make a post on Facebook, it's only going to be seen by people that like your page already, which is going to be people you already know, people you're friends with on your personal Facebook page. So that's helpful to stay connected with them, but it's not going to get you out in front of any new people. So that's why you have to run advertisements. So let's say, okay, so I made this post, let's see, October 1st, we sold a house. So let's say I have this, which is something that I make for all of you all when you close on your listings. I could go into this individual post and boost it instead of just boosting my page in general. So I'm going here to boost, and it's going to take me to that same setup. Okay, so it's done. Again, I would toggle on my housing category. That's new. Okay, so same thing, duration, payment, all that. And then I would just click boost post now.
Or just looking just sold or further.
Yes, way further. Okay. So once you run some ads, if you're curious to see how they do, you can go into the ad center. Okay, so over here on the left, you have a whole list of options. Okay. So in your ad center, it's going to give you a summary of the last 60 days. All right, so my reach, my post engagement, 410 link clicks, that's pretty good. And then it'll show you your individual ads and how they did. Okay. So we did one on open houses last week for $14. It reached 420 people. We did one on, let's see, Taffy Ann Drive, another $14. This one got almost 1,900 in reach and really good post engagement. The thing about this is, and what you'll have to pay attention to, is you have to think like a consumer about what they would want to see. Okay, so you can post something, or you can promote something like an open house post, but this is just one graphic. It's not clickable. It's not, you can't click through pictures of the house or anything like that. It was literally just this photo. Okay. With this other ad that I ran, I boosted this one specifically because I knew that the interior photos were really good and the house is really cute. And so I knew that more people would look at it. And they did. Okay, and if you're curious to see your analytics, it will show you people and what device they looked on and where they were from. Okay, so you can see that even though you can't choose your audience when you have to do the special ad requirements, you can still see that it's doing it for you because you are still getting hits from Kentucky and Indiana instead of some random place. So that's good. Okay, and they actually did people with interests like realtor.com or Trulia. I didn't do that. So that's nice actually. All right. So you can kind of see, again, like for this one, I boosted when Nick Barnes joined our company and it was just the photo of him and it reached only 150 people. Okay, this post was a post all about the house with the interior photos. It got way more reach. So that's kind of how that works. I wanted to show you all how to schedule posts. So we're starting from the beginning. We're going to go to my realtor page. And instead of creating a post here on the main part of the page, we're going to go over to this side and we're going to go down to publishing tools. And then you're going to click create post. Okay. So you can post to both if you have them connected, your Facebook and your Instagram. And you can put the text here. So if you're going to do like a squeeze page and do all the luxury homes in the area, you can say check out all these luxury homes for sale in Louisville. Okay. And then I could put the link here. So if I had that squeeze page link, I would just put it right here. You could do your location. So you could just type in Louisville, Kentucky, and it'll take you there. And then you can see for Instagram, it'll be similar. And then instead of just clicking the publish button, you can click this arrow down and schedule it. You can schedule it for as far into the future as you want. Nope, I lied. You can schedule it into January of 2022. But the point is, this makes it great for people who aren't good at logging in all the time and remembering to post every day or every couple days. So what you can do is one morning, block out some time, give yourself 45 minutes, make some squeeze pages, make some posts on Canva, come in here to the publishing tools and create all your posts and schedule them out for the entire rest of the month or the entire quarter. And then you just don't have to worry about it after that. And again, just to make sure. I got there from using the Manage Page dropdown under Publishing Tools. Okay. Another thing you all might want to know about, you may have seen when you're looking at another like Facebook business page, like some other company, there's usually a follow button or like a call now or a book appointment now button. You can change that. So it'll default to just saying follow. You might want to do something like book now, where they can set up appointments with you. So you can set up appointments on Facebook. You tell them when you're available. So when someone goes to use this, what time do you want to be available to them? So we're not going to be available on Sundays, but we will be available for the rest of the week. And we'll do 9 to 5. Okay, so I would go through, I would do that for the whole week. Click next. Customize your preferences for confirming appointments. You don't want to double book. You can sync to your Google Calendar if you want. You probably do want to do appointment approval so that you know for sure when you have these appointments. Okay, now I've already added a service. So this is what it'll look like. This will be their option when they go to book an appointment. They can book a buyer consultation with me. Okay, once I've gone through all these steps, I'm going to have my calendar here. And if anyone ever books through it, it'll show up here. I'll get a notification. I'll have to approve it before we're confirmed. Now, when people go to my realtor page, instead of follow, it'll say book an appointment up here if I had saved it properly and everything. Now, back to that services thing though, where you saw the buyer consultation, you can add those. Okay, so under this services tab, I would make sure you have things like the buyer consultation. You could add like a home valuation. You could add a first-time home buyer seminar. Get creative, add all sorts of events here. Anything, any type of service you think you can provide. If you want to do something that's like you can sit down with my finance guy, you know, all of those things, you could have this list, this menu of services, and then when they hit this book now up here, it'll give them the choice of all of these different services that you can provide to them. Okay. Next to services is the reviews tab. I'm actually going to show you on Wykert's page. Okay, so same setup, I'm just on Wykert's page now. Now, if you go to reviews, here's where the ones that you've gotten in the past will show up, okay? When you're on this page, when you're under the reviews tab, copy it. Copy the URL at the top, paste it in a new window. No, sorry, open Facebook again in a separate page. Now I'm on my personal page feed, okay? And what everybody should do, maybe once a quarter, once every 6 months, is create a post on your personal page, which is where you're gonna have more connections. Paste that review page and say something like, Something like that. I would be so appreciative if my friends would take a moment to leave a review on my business page. You could say something like, even if we haven't done a transaction together, just leave a review that says something about, you know, my character or something like that. Okay, so ask your friends on your personal Facebook page to help you out with this, and they will. Okay, but that's a great way to get, you know, some actual reviews on this page. All right, a couple more things you can do on here. Events. So again, I went to more and then events. Oh, okay. Okay. You can create a new one. I'm gonna do in person. Okay. Every week that you are hosting an open house, you should have that figured out by the beginning of the week. So let's say no sooner than, I mean, typically Monday or Tuesday is ideal. Thursday would be the cutoff, because if I'm going to run a promotion on this, it needs to go until Sunday. It needs to be 4 days. So Thursday at the latest. Okay. So let me go back to, sorry, I'm going to go back to my page. Okay. Okay. It needs to have an end date and time. It's not a recurring event, but if you decide that you're going to host like a first-time home buyer seminar virtually once a month, you can choose your date and time and make it a recurring event so that it's automatically advertising it every month for you. And then you can put your description in, just listed and open to the public for the first time this Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. Okay, for the location, it will let you choose the exact address. If you type that in, well, where did it go? There. Okay. And then for the photo, I'm going to delete this and add a photo of the house as the cover photo. You don't need admission. That's all fine. If you're doing this with someone else, like Tom and Becky just did one together last weekend or the weekend before, you could add Tom. And that way now he can be an admin in this event as well. You can, and now you can both boost it.
For my open houses, I usually do forms to create a form with 3 questions.
Have you gotten any responses from them?
My last open house, I had 12 people RSVP.
Oh, that's awesome.
And answer all the questions. I have 3 questions. Are you working with a realtor? Are you pre-approved? And are you in the market? 5.
Did you boost it?
I boosted it and I got a lot of responses. They all answered questions. So by the time I went to my open house, I had all their names and the questions already needed.
That's awesome. That's really good.
People responding to all that stuff.
So once you have the event made, you can share it. You can share it to your personal page. So where did it ask you to fill out the form, Mo?
It's not under that.
It's not in it.
No, you have to create it.
Let me delete this real quick since this is not real. Oh, and I guess you guys should know this. If your open house gets canceled, if the house gets sold or the owners don't want to do it, go to these three dots right here. Cancel event, delete event, confirm. Okay, let me make sure that that is gone first before we do anything else. Okay. All right. So Mo had people fill out a form, and I know I've done that before. Do you remember how you did it, Mo?
Just, thinking back. And then right there it says get more leads.
Aha.
Yeah, just have them, you put whatever questions you want.
Okay. So I'm on get more leads. Let Facebook optimize your ad created by testing a mix of headlines. Sure.
So, button right there, create form. Now that you can put whatever questions you want to answer.
Okay, so if I want them to add their phone number too, you can do that.
They gave me phone numbers and emails and names and questions. I just type out a question. Exactly, yeah. I'm going to make things how to do the offer the best.
Yeah.
Call Facebook, see your answer, and go from there.
What other questions did you ask?
Have you been, or do you have money, it's like whenever you want to help people.
Have you spoken with a lender?
Yes. So if you go up, you can flip the back right there. Once it's forward, it shows everything that's going on.
Okay, so when I boost this, this is what they're gonna see. These questions, they'll have to put in their contact information. They'll have to agree to the privacy policy, and then they'll get the thank you.
And of course, on top is a open house.
Customized form text optional. Right, okay, so I see. So instead of this picture, we'll replace that with a picture of 126 stills. Okay. Okay.
The first, I think, I got like 1,000 views on it. So, I'm bad at this, for your open house.
All right, so just to confirm what we did here, I'm going to start from the beginning because that was like, I was learning it as we were going. So we did create new ad again. And instead of automatic, we did get more leads. And then we did create form. Okay. Okay. Cool deal.
Cool. Student presentation.
Look at that. Yeah. Facebook ads are kind of the way to go. Yeah. All right. Other things you might want to do, not as important, but still important to check every now and again. If you go to resources and tools and you want to kind of just learn and get better with all of this stuff, this is where you want to be. It's going to help you to join groups that might be relevant for you. It'll prompt you to do some live videos, set up frequently asked questions on your messenger, on Facebook Messenger. Okay, there's all sorts of good stuff in here. So that's, again, that was resources and tools. And then the other thing is down here where you see page quality. Come in here and just make sure that it's green and that it says your page has no restrictions or violations. Okay. Let's see, edit page. This is where you can come in and just change your basic information. So if you want to update your description or the username, which also becomes your URL, facebook.com/Louisville Realtor Jesse. You can do that there. You can add your categories, but make sure you at least have real estate agent, real estate service, real estate company. Okay, all of this needs to be filled out. This is new, so I don't have that yet. All right. And then finally, under settings, if you haven't already done it, if you scroll down here, that's where you can connect your Instagram. Okay, so you'll just need to know your login information for Instagram. And then once you're connected, it'll be easier for you to post to both at once. Okay. All right. I think those are the most important things. Does anybody have any questions? I don't know if, I know Donna's audio wasn't working. I couldn't hear her. Hopefully that was her and not me. How did I do this? Oh my gosh. Okay. There.
So you don't have that tab. Never made a photo, looks like. On the left, all the leads. Sorry. If you guys do a form, that's where all your leads will go. It's taking a while to find those leads that are in the
Okay. So if you guys can't hear Mo, what he was saying is he does those forms on Facebook and runs ads for them. And then once you do that, there will be an option over here on the left that says leads, and you can go in there and manage them. Okay, so it basically becomes a CRM. It'll give you all their contact info. Okay, and their answers to their questions. That's awesome. All right. Switching over just to give you guys some content ideas. Okay, couple things. They have made squeeze pages a tad bit easier for us. So once you log into KV Core, it looks like this. It should, it better. And then you're going to go over here to the left to lead engine, and you're going to go to build squeeze page. Okay, lead engine, build squeeze page. They added history, which is cool because once you've done a couple that you like, you can just come in here and copy the link and use them again. What's nice about this is if you do a squeeze page that is all luxury listings over $1 million and you've done it once, If you come in and do that again 2 months later, it's not going to be the same houses. So it's going to be like a whole new website. What? You do that all the time? Yeah, I know.
Hang up all my stuff.
All right, so if you start at build, a couple different things you can do here, but we'll start with multi since it's just the first one there. This is sort of set up like a regular MLS search. So you can come in here and manipulate it to show any list of houses that you want, really. But what I wanted to show you today is that if you just choose Louisville, they have this options button down here at the bottom. So you can choose fixer upper, and then all you need to do is generate the link. Thought I already did that. Louisville, Kentucky. Whoops.
Or like clients,
What do you mean?
like don't fix their offers. Who would use this? Or like that's really.
Yeah, I'm posting this on my Facebook. Yeah. So I've chosen all of Louisville. Okay, I chose my city. Or I could have drawn on the map and I could have included like Oldham, Bullitt, Trimble, all those others, but for the sake of time, we'll just do Louisville. I chose my option, fixer upper, and I generated the link. Don't worry about anything else for now. Always use the short link. You can click these little boxes to copy it. And then you can go in and post this on your Facebook. When you're doing something like this, if you really want to be compliant, you can post. These are not all Weikert listings, but I'd be happy to show you any of the following. Okay, because whatever image pops up, it's probably not going to be a Weikert listing. And so we need to make sure that we tell people that.
So when you erase that.
Yes. Yes. Whoops. So let's say I posted that and somebody clicks on it. Here's what they're going to see. Okay, now the thing about this is I don't exactly know how it picks up these categories. So you might want to double check before you post them and just make sure that what comes up makes sense. So like, yeah, these all look pretty good. Okay, now the idea is somebody starts clicking around, they're looking at these, going, oh, that one might be good, let me look at more, what's this one? Now this pops up, they continue with Facebook, boom, their contact information is in your CRM. Okay, that goes back to the important thing to do when you're posting something like this is to boost it. Because if you don't, you're just gonna get all people that you already know in your CRM because you're just sharing it to Facebook. If you boost it, you're putting it all over the internet. That's how you get leads of people that you wouldn't otherwise know. Okay. So there was fixer upper in there. You can exit out of that. There's a golf course one. So if you have a lot of friends that are golfers, yeah, thanks for coming. You can generate the link for this one. Whoops, did I forget to? Okay, now you'll see they all say golf course up here. So these are all listings that back up to golf courses. There's an option for What was another good one? Views, water views. Sheesh. Okay, this is going to give you a list of all the properties with water views. All right, or you can go in, and if you know you have a lot of friends that are probably all going to be looking in Oldham County, you can come in here, search by county. We'll do both, north and south. And we'll do single family. For this one, I would post something on my Facebook like, for those of you looking to get into the Oldham County schools in the next couple of years, check out what's available right now, which is just about nothing. You could do Louisville, that might not work because I'm not sure that KV Core, our KV Core acknowledges multifamily. So scratch that. You could do who's looking for maintenance-free living. There's some condos. Oh, I was still on water views. That's why it didn't come up. Now let's see if it'll do multifamily. I still don't know that it will. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, so if you have, if you think you have some people on your Facebook or you want to promote to some people who might be looking for a multifamily, there's a list of them. Okay. So the thing about the multi-property is that when you share that, it's going to give the person a list of different properties to look at. Different from single property, which is what we talk about doing in the office the most. And they've made this even easier as well, because it used to be you had to put in the MLS number. Now they have it so you can just type the address and it will know it and it will come up. Okay, again, you don't need to change anything else unless you can change the number of property views if you want to. So if you want your website to be stickier and get the lead, it can be immediate. If you don't want it to be sticky at all, you can change it to never. I like to keep it at 2. Generate the link, always use the short one. Whoops. Okay, fine. Okay. Single squeeze is just about that property. So you can look at the photos. All of the stuff is pulled from the MLS, so it'll have all this information. It'll also have this mortgage calculator, school, which I don't know why it didn't pull up the schools, and all of this. Okay. And the thing about doing the squeeze page is that it'll be branded to you if you do it from your account, right? So even though it's not your listing, you'll get the leads if you share the squeeze page. Okay, and then there's just 2 more. So a seller squeeze. This one, you don't have to do anything except put in the location. So if you know you have a lot of connections that are in St. Matthews or curious about what's going on in St. Matthews, you can use that. Of course, that one didn't work. All right, let's get a broader scope. Try Oldham County. Okay, the problem with doing this, and you should still do it, but I'm just warning you that you need to pay attention to the numbers that come up and be able to explain to people that this is just going off the most recent sales. And because our sales are so low, MLS wide, not in our office, but in the entire MLS, if there are just a couple of sales and one of them is a major outlier, it's going to throw this number way off. So this might not actually reflect, you know, a true price, but it is an average for whatever, like the last couple weeks or whatever. But the point of this is when they see this, they also see this option to put their address in. Okay. So I live in Goshen, and you've put this thing on your Facebook telling me the average price in Oldham County is $950. Now I want to know what mine's worth, so I'm going to get my estimate. Now the agent, you have their address. That's going to be added to their info in your CRM, and they're going to have a CMA. Maybe. Now it's going to be a really basic CMA, and you're going to want to call them immediately and say, hey, let's talk about that price. Let's talk about your home. But here's what they're going to see. And then they can also view, they can email it to their spouse. They can view comps. Of course, there are none. I guess I need to stop using Oldham County as an example. But all of that was from the seller squeeze. And then kind of similar to that, just formatted a little differently, is the market report. So for this one, let's do, so you'll notice when I'm searching an area here, I've used all different search parameters. So I started with the city of Louisville. I also went by county. I've gone by neighborhood, and now I'm going by zip code. It knows all of those. So you can set these up in lots of different ways. And generate the link, copy the short link. Okay, now this one actually shows you more of what's going on. So it'll show you what homes are for sale, average prices, listings and solds, most expensive. Then they can come in, and if they think, wow, this is great, but I'd really like to see one for my zip code, now they can come in and look at theirs. And in this case, since I've already done it, it didn't ask me, but this is when, again, it would ask for their contact info to continue. If they did it this way, you would get their email, possibly their phone number, and you would get that they searched for a market report for this zip code. So you can call them and say, hey, I saw you were curious about what's going on in 40222. And just as a reminder on the backside, when you're sharing all of these things, what happens after people start looking at them and you start getting leads is they come into your smart CRM. Which, why didn't I come into my smart CRM? So let's see if we can find some recent ones to give you an idea. Okay. So here's one that Becky got. And she's been sending emails. So this person viewed Becky's listing on Mount Eden. And you can look at, whoops. Oh, shoot. Hold on, sorry. Let's do this one. Okay. So Robert Brown, he came in from looking at basically a squeeze page for Mount Eden Road. Oh, that's saying email him now. Okay. So he was assigned to Becky. The system ran a validation run, and I don't, okay.
What do they mean by that?
To see if he's really a real person,
Oh.
which he is. Well, I think he is. We have his email address. Now, the emails might be going to spam, or he might not be looking at them. The way you can tell is this little envelope over here will be blue, I think, or it'll at least be open. The flap will be up if they're looking at them. But the system is automatically sending them emails based on the first property they looked at, which was that Mount Eden. So you can go into this timeline and see everything that the system has sent them since they came in as a lead. Okay, so he got an email that there was going to be an open house that Sunday at the property he was interested in. Now, just as another refresher, you can see, okay, over here, you can see that he's set up on this one alert, and it's based on the property that he looked at when he first came in as a lead. So he looked at a single family home in Shelbyville that was listed for $419,000 rather. If you talk to Robert Brown and he says, well, actually, I'm looking for something a little bit smaller. My price range is a little lower. I just thought that one was really pretty. You can come into alerts, edit this one, and you can change it so that it's actually going to start sending him listings that are closer to what he might actually be looking for. So you can lower his price range, you can lower his number of bedrooms, you can change the square footage, all of that, just like an MLS search. You can change the frequency that he gets emails, which I would change just like an MLS search. I would change it to ASAP. And then you can save it. You can update it, you can save it, and if that pulls up some new listings that he might be interested in that he may have missed before, you can automatically send him all of those as well. Why is it not letting me out? That's fine. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody left?
Hey, Jesse, this is Amy. I do have some questions, but I'll give you a call afterwards.
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good.
thanks.
All right. All right, well, if you all are good, that's all I'm going to do for today. But as always, you can call me whenever you get stuck, or if you have any questions or just need some content ideas, I'm happy to help, okay? Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. Thanks.